What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is going to be today's Bitcoin and Chainlink analysis video. It's been quite a few days since I last did Chainlink, so we will be covering that today. Yesterday, Sean and I, we covered Bitcoin. Okay, so for those of you who want to check out that video, I will link that above so you guys can go and check out Sean's thoughts because he's not on today's video. He's got a sore throat, and I think it's pretty persistent. So he won't be back for a couple of days at least, at the very least. But yeah, I'm going to be taking over today, and we're going to make this a fun video, okay? We're going to start off with this beautiful monthly time frame. Why? Because, well, we close this monthly candle in 3 friggin' days, guys. 3 days. And just look at this chart right now. We are testing 2017 highs right now. Okay, so if you look at it on the monthly time frame, guys, Bitcoin may very well be threatening, okay, yes, threatening price discovery. Now, I believe that as soon as we start closing candles over 14K psychological resistance, okay, and very specific, 14K psychological resistance, I do believe personally that Bitcoin is officially in price discovery on the monthly time frame. Why? Because we have not closed a single monthly candle over that region. Okay, not even in that last bull market. Take a look at this right here. Yes, we got up to 20K in December 2017. In Jan 2018, we got up to 17.2K. Okay, however, neither one of those months did we close over 14K. And why am I putting more emphasis on psychological resistance? Because we are currently at a very, very pivotal region right now. Okay, and I do believe that psychological resistance will take precedence here. And why do I say that? Just to drive the point through. Okay, I'm going to zoom out of this monthly chart. Remember, monthly time frame. I'm on that Bitstamp exchange. I'm sure you can pull this up on any other exchange that has this kind of price history, BLX if you want. But if you go back into that last bull market, okay, the last bull market took place in November of 2013. Okay, so the one prior to the 2017 market. And I just go ahead and smack a horizontal line at around the highs there. Now, the highs back in 2013 came in at around 1,160-ish, give or take. I'm going to go ahead and do that, just smack a line right there, okay? And you can see that yellow line right here that I have, that is at $1,000 psychological resistance. Okay, $1,000, and that's the thing about psychological resistance, guys. Okay, why is it important? Why do people also give that as much importance? Because as human beings, guys, we tend to gravitate towards whole numbers. Now, when I do my charting, now you guys know, for those of you who have been watching me, when I chart with you guys, I usually I grab onto the decimals as well, but that is only because of convenience. I'm literally just reading off of my scale for you. Okay, but because we're at such a pivotal juncture, I am going to be actually telling you what it is that I will be looking at. Psychological resistance for me at 14K. Okay, I'll be giving that a lot of importance, and here is why. If you zoom out of this chart, okay, now we've marked a line here at around 1,160 and $1,000 psychological resistance. Okay, zoom out, and you'll notice that after Bitcoin had that 2 to 3 year of bear market, okay, so that was 2014, 2015, going all the way up to 2016. The first thing I want you to notice is how price reacted off of that 1,160 region, which on a technical standpoint is a valid point of resistance. Okay, we have derived that from the highs in the last bull cycle. Okay, so that was valid, but notice how choppy price was on that region. We broke up, we closed over that region, and then the next month we lost it swiftly, only for the month of April to close over. So there was a lot of chip chop on that region, but what did not break, what did not fail was psychological resistance. Resistance then now turns support at $1,000. Okay, that $1,000 support region held the entire time. So we broke 1,000, came back down, gave it an official test, lived over it, and then saw further continuation to the upside leading into that next bull run. All right. And this is where psychological resistance will also count. If you have to kind of mark out a range for yourself, then do that. Okay, now in Bitcoin's case, right now at the region that we're at, I believe the technical resistance that we have on our charts based on historic price action is sitting at around 13.9K, give or take. Yeah, around 13,880. Okay, so I'll be marking a range from 13,880 going all the way up to 14K, but 14K I will be giving more importance to. We start closing candles over 14K on the monthly time frame, guys. I personally believe that we are in price discovery, but I want to hear your thoughts on this. I know some people, they like seeing the wicks being taken out. So if you're one of those people, I'd like to hear, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think, are you going to be waiting on that 20K to be taken out? Or do you believe that if Bitcoin closes this monthly candle over 14K, we have officially reached price discovery? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear this. But yeah, this is what Bitcoin is doing on the monthly time frame. It is bullish as hell. We have 3 days left on this candle. We're threatening that resistance right now. So question is, can we close over? Now, to get a good sort of idea on that, let's get onto the weekly time frame. Now, yesterday, Sean and I went over the weekly time frame. And at the time when we covered it, we did mention that 13.2K region. Sean said that, hey, if we start closing candles over that region on the more immediate hours of the day, there's a good chance we're going all the way up to 13.9K to give it an official test. Okay, which was that next weekly region of resistance overhead. Now, we're still currently hovering there. Now, question is, do we break? Do we see a consolidation, maybe a bull flag consolidation and then a break? Honestly, this is clearly trending on something much lower than the weekly as well. But what is to note here, the weekly is looking great. Okay, the current price range that Bitcoin is in right now is from 13.9K on the weekly, mind you, on the weekly, 13.9K going all the way down to that 12.3K region. Okay, so that is the current price range of price action that Bitcoin is sitting in. But this is like, there's a lot of bullish momentum coming in here. So yes, we may very well break up. And what is to note about this region, now this is something I'd mentioned last week as well as yesterday, is that Bitcoin is officially in a very, very, very volatile zone. We start breaking 14K to the upside, guys, I actually think that this is probably likely going to end up shooting. Okay, so the next point of resistance on the weekly is coming in at around 16.3K. I want to bring that down a bit. I'm essentially looking at these wicks here and these candle body closes here. But why do I say it's going to be volatile? Because I just want you to look at this price action right here. Okay, price didn't give anyone an opportunity. It was... these are weekly candles, just like having these swift moves to the upsides and swift move to the downside. And that's how I can really gauge whether or not a zone is volatile. So I will be expecting the same kind of volatility. These candles were volatile here, right? This candle alone at around in the first week of Jan 2018, that was, in percent-wise, that was a 16% candle. And it's only looking at the candle body. It's not even taking the wicks into account. Okay, so and the wicks were pretty freaking decent as well. This candle right here that went all the way up to that 19K region, that was a good 25%. Okay, once again, only taking in the candle body into account. All right, so this is going to be a volatile range, so watch out for that. But yeah, as things stand, Bitcoin is in freaking bullish territory. Now, the only question that I'm asking myself, okay, as a trader, is can I get a better buy-in? Now, because I think that we are officially in a bull market with what price has done, especially with that last weekly close, I will only be looking for long opportunities on Bitcoin. Okay, so as a trader, I'm asking myself, can I get a better buy-in on this chart? Now for that, because we're clearly trending on something much lower than the weekly, I'm going to go ahead and pan on over to the daily time frame. While that bull flag did break to the upside, the first thing that's really catching my eye is how aggressively the Tenkin and the Kijun are currently moving up. Okay, so this is sort of tipping me off on in that we could see price actually start consolidating at higher levels. So I'll be watching for how the Tenkin and that Kijun start acting. If we start flatlining, then we could potentially get a retest of this region right here around 12.3K. Okay, but that really depends on where that Tenkin actually flatlines. I want to see a level of consolidation. If not, if we start moving up aggressively from here as well, okay, I will be expecting a higher level of consolidation. So essentially price consolidating at this level right here at around 13K. Okay, let me tell you something. We start consolidating at 13K, it's going to be a pretty explosive picture. So watch out for that. But yeah, let's quickly get onto the 4-hour time frame that could perhaps paint a better picture for us. Man, this is looking so good right now, but I'm noticing that a lot of retailers are not making the noise that they usually make on, on crypto Twitter and stuff. It's making me wonder if, this entire move had people caught off guard. And I really hope that's not the case, because price actually gave us a lot of signs that it wanted to go up from here. Now on the daily time frame, sorry, I'm just going to quickly pan on over to the daily. Just yesterday, Sean and I covered this, saying that the cloud had never looked better. We had a green cloud. Price, after consolidating inside the cloud for a month, we finally picked a side. And notice how it gave everyone time. Okay, not only did we break that cloud to the upside, we also broke a symmetrical triangle during that break. We came in, gave it an official test. So we had a clean break, an official test, and then continuation. And not just that, that was the first thing that happened. Okay, that was really, really bullish and that really tipped people off. But the second best thing was the fact that we had an extremely, extremely bullish TK cross over the cloud. Now, for those of you in the Mango Seed program, Sean just you guys know that Sean just published an entire module on Ichimoku. I believe it's 5 hours long. I still haven't gotten to it. Unfortunately, I'll be doing that today. But you guys are going to understand the significance of this cross after that module. Okay, that's going to give you a holistic understanding of the Ichimoku Cloud. Okay, and it's a very, trust me, this is a very, very powerful indicator. So there were too many signs that Bitcoin actually gave retail investors, okay, for people to have been caught off guard. I noticed it was only the institutional investors that just started pouring into the space that have been making all the noise on Twitter. So yeah, I thought that was kind of odd, and I was just hoping that people, were not caught off guard. But as far as the institutional investors go, take MicroStrategy, for example, like their investment in Bitcoin, okay, from when they entered to now with this current move, I mean, their profits are already sitting over $80 million. So ever since the coronavirus dump, honestly, a lot of eyes have been on Bitcoin. A lot of eyes from the institutional sector have been on Bitcoin. And yeah, they are enjoying their profits right now, I'll tell you that. But Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, guys, it's looking good as well. I mean, we clearly have not lost that 4-hour uptrend. For as long as we're maintaining the 10 SMA and the 21 EMA, Bitcoin is still very much in a 4-hour uptrend. And this is something else that I'd mentioned quite some time ago. So I want to sort of drill this point in. I noticed that when Bitcoin actually starts to trend on those lower time frames, okay, before it actually goes into maybe a daily consolidation, it does very well on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, now this is a mere observation that I've made, but I noticed that Bitcoin relative to that 21 EMA has given you some really good trades. Now, just to give you a very quick example, which is right in front of me, if you look at this bull flag right here, now despite what happened a couple of days ago where we saw that major dump to the downside, taking out this low right here. Okay, so just to sort of draw it out for you guys, I was looking during this entire consolidation, I was looking at this wick right here as a low, this region right here is a low, and then we had this candle right here that took out this low. Now, usually I'd look at that as a bearish picture. In fact, as soon as it took it out, I actually saw this happen live. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go, we're going down. But price got bought all the way back up to find support along that 4-hour 21 EMA. They were clearly trying to maintain those levels. And not just that, the next thing that tipped me off was as actually taking back the 10 SMA and the Tenkin and then living over that. And this is what I mean. Watch out for how price reacts off of these major levels that it has been hugging, that it has been holding, because it's likely going to tip you off. All right, now as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, maybe I should be a little, I should check my biases here, even though I thought that price was likely to go down from there. I'm like, I'm going to check my biases here. The overall momentum is still bullish, very, very much in bullish territory, and I don't want to be playing against that. Okay, so as soon as I saw that, I took the other side of the trade and I bought more spot. So that was that. And as things stand right now, Bitcoin looks like it wants to come down and test that 10 SMA. Possibly if we start losing the 10 SMA, then the Tenkin and the 21 sitting at around 13,327. It's only if we start losing the 21 EMA to the downside. Okay, will I be anticipating a further push to the downside, possibly coming all the way down here to 12,600, which is also that 4-hour Kijun. I'll be expecting a clear C-span trade on that. But honestly, based on the very little noise from the retailers, I'm wondering if we even get down there. Okay, more often than not, I find that it's trying to mess with you psychologically to a point, right? Wherein because a lot of people are already rattled, price kind of gets taken all the way up to the next sort of point of resistance, and then people end up FOMOing into positions there. But either way, whatever you do, do not do not over leverage. Okay, do not over leverage. Now, for those of you in the seed program, you guys have the risk management system in place, and that's what's going to keep you safe. For those of you who, well, are not and are still looking to employ some level of risk management, honestly, my only advice to you is that if you are getting into a leverage trade, have your invalidation points. Okay, that is very, very important. Have some kind of level of invalidation, because that is at the very least, you'll have that to keep you safe. Okay, and gauge your risk and reward. Ask yourself, how much am I risking to gain how much reward? Okay, it's going to help you pick your trades well. Now, I've given you regions of support, immediate support, and resistance that Bitcoin has. And depending on what side of the trade you're taking, ask yourself, is the trade worth it? Is the reward worth the risk? Okay, and be careful of over leveraging too. Okay, now this is what Bitcoin is up to. Let's quickly pan on over to Chainlink and see what Chainlink is up to. Chainlink is currently sitting at $11. I do believe on the weekly time frame, the major region that I was looking for price to take out was $11. And what do you know? That last weekly candle, we closed well over not only that $11 region, guys, but also the 10-kin as well as that 10 simple moving average. Okay, so we closed over a lot of regions of resistance there. So this is looking very, very good. I think that Chainlink may very well want to see continuation to the upside. The next point of resistance for Chainlink is only coming in at, let's say, this region right here. Okay, that's at $13.45. But mind you, this is also going to be a very, very volatile zone. For this next weekly close, what I'll be looking for is how price closes relative to the two regions that it took out. Okay, the 10-kin as well as that 10 SMA. If we manage to use it as support and hold it as support, I will be looking for further continuation to the upside, coming all the way up to $13.45 to give that an official test. But yeah, Chainlink is looking good on the weekly time frame, like very, very good, because what you need to note here is that $11 region on the weekly time frame, we were holding it as resistance for over a month. So this candle right here was a pretty bullish takeout of that $11 resistance that we had been holding. So I like this picture so far. Link is looking good. The crypto markets are looking very, very good right now. I do not want to be taking the short side of any of these assets, not when they're in such volatile zones of price action. Okay, so now as things stand on the 4-hour time frame, we are choppy along that 4-hour 21 EMA. For those of you who've been watching my videos, you guys know how much importance I give Chainlink's 4-hour 21 EMA. Right? Because I do believe it's a very, very critical level, and historically it has proven to be a very profitable level as well. Okay, because I noticed that when we start a trend, it does extremely well off of that 4-hour 21 EMA. As things stand, we are currently hovering underneath the 21 EMA as well as a 10 SMA. However, holding support here at around $11.50. What I do not want to see, if I'm anticipating a further push to the upside, I don't want to see price taking out this wick low right here. Okay, we start taking that out, I will be looking for a further push to the downside. The first region of support coming in at $11, okay? And then the next one coming in only here at that 4-hour 200 simple moving average at $10.50. Okay, so I want to see this hold. As far as further upside is considered, I'll be looking for Chainlink to actually live over that 4-hour 21 EMA once again and hold it as support. I'm actually also going to go ahead and put on my volume because I want to see if we have something here. Okay, so I think the first thing for me is going to be how price reacts off of that 4-hour 21 EMA. In addition to that, if we can start living over that region, I think the next point of resistance only comes in right here. Okay, that comes in at $12.28. We managed to take that out to the upside. I think we're likely going and testing that $13 region that I just spoke to you about. Okay, now this $13.47 comes in on that weekly time frame. This is a weekly point of resistance overhead. So we may see price just sort of gravitate towards that region. And yeah, that's what I'll be watching out for the most part. But what I like about Chainlink's chart right now, and what's tipping me off on it actually wanting to go up, is I'm noticing these wicks. While we are currently hovering underneath that 21 EMA, we're not able to lose, not even forget about lose. We're not able to really, consistently get down to that region of support at $11.50. You can see price sort of every wick is a higher wick so far, right? So I think I think the bulls look like they may want to take over here, but time is going to tell. Okay, what I'll be watching for is how we react once again off of the 4-hour 21 EMA, because that, my friends, is going to give you your first tip. On the more macro scale for Chainlink USDT, it did something very, very special on that last weekly close by actually taking out that $11 region. So as far as the macro levels are concerned, I want to see price actually maintain that then resistance at $11. Okay, just drive it in. Resistance then now turns support. I want to see $11 being maintained as support on that weekly time frame. For as long as we maintain that as support, I still believe that Chainlink USDT is in bullish territory. Okay, I'll be looking for further upside on this chart. And yeah, this is all I have for you for Bitcoin and Chainlink, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao.